It's lager time. Yay! Lager time. Poems, stories, and thoughts. By me, Paul Cree. Who else?
Greetings, bonjour, what's happening? Welcome to Lager Time. My name is Paul Cree. Lager Time is my podcast where I share bits of writing, poems, stories, thoughts, music, but mostly poems at the moment. Going to be more poems this week, little bits of writing or whatever. So yeah, hopefully a short one. So what's been happening? Yeah, I've been double busy this week. Been out and about every day, bar today. Which is good, I suppose. I'm just tired, really. I was knackered this morning. Monday, Wednesday this week, I was working at the drama school, Fourth Monkey up in Finsbury Park. Tuesday, I was over at Chelsea Theatre. And then yesterday, I was at the Albany Theatre. And then I was at Beatbox Academy in the evening. Excuse me, a lot of running around. Which leads me to this week's large ups. So yesterday at Albany, I was working on a project called Heart and Soul. And Heart and Soul is celebrating its 40th year of doing it. And it's a project I've worked on a few times. I've gone in and run beatbox workshops. So they put on projects, like art-based projects for people who have quite severe learning difficulties, that kind of thing. And it's like a respite day, I guess. So they have a whole day of activities. So every now and again, I'll get asked to go in there, or one of the many people that I work with who do what we do will get there to get asked to go in and run beatbox workshops. So it's a fun day. You're there all day. So they get to come in and then they get to choose a project in the morning. So yesterday there was me. There was a street art kind of workshop, and then there was another like comedy, theatre, clowning sort of workshop. And then they get to do one in the morning and then the same thing in the afternoon, and then they come back at the end of the day and there's like a big sort of sharing and performance. It's a really fun day, and there's a lot of joy all around. It's been a few years since I've done it, but you're there in their 40th year, and it's always a good laugh when I go there, and the people there seem to really enjoy it. But it's exhausting. It's like foot to the floor. So I went in there, ran sessions in the morning and the afternoon, and then when each session we made like a song, and then went and performed it with the guys at the end of the day. And one of them made this. Well, actually one, they all made this song. So they're all beatboxing and rapping and making the sounds and writing the lyrics with me. And they made this tune called About Food. And the chorus was like a repetitive grime chorus, but it banged. It's like, big fish fingers, big fish fingers, big fish fingers, big fish fingers. And then the verse went into all the foods that they like. But it was going off. All the crowd was getting involved. It was funny. So yeah, and so large up, Heart and Soul, Helen and all the team there, they're really nice. And they do great work. They run out like a choir as well. And then after I did that, I was up to Battersea Arts Centre for Beatbox Academy, where I'm currently leading the term, whilst my good pal Conrad Murray is away on tour with Piper, shortly going to Peterborough. Go check it. They just smashed up Derby. So at the end of the session, this lady who works there, who's really nice. She was like, "Oh, Paul, the bar are giving away all this beer. Like, it's can of beers have gone off. They're just giving away. Do you want some?" So I was like, "Yeah, all right." So she went and got my bag and filled it up with like 6 of these little cans. And I've got one here with me. One's called Prime Time Session IPA. And the other one is called Queensbury Jack Session IPA. Now, you may well know I'm not really a fan of the crafty beers. I just like normal lager, yeah. But I don't actually drink lager all that much, nowhere near as much as I'd like to. Put it that way. I just don't, just because of circumstances or whatever. But well, this sneaky little craft one, and it was free. So here it is, large up the bar at BAC for giving me this. You sold out, Paul. Prime time IPA. It's all right. I don't know if I could drink pints of this stuff, but it's not bad. So there you go. All right, a little bit of a waffle. So let's get on to some poems. So after last week, where I had a few music-related ones, I think grouping them makes a little bit more sense. So this week, this is a more societal things that I notice that I don't particularly like. It's a little bit more on the moany side, I suppose. I hope not, but anyway, we'll read them and see how they land. First one's called Hot Kettle Shop. Hot Kettle Shop. I'm an unstable lid on a slow boiling kettle. One of those cheap £5 ones that take way too long to heat, like the service in this place. Hot water's leaking out the sides. These coffee shops have seeped out the iron dome of zones 1 to 2 and further out into London's outer suburbs, where the working classes still dominate. Just about. They must know their days are numbered when the posh shops roll into town with all their pastries and leaflets for Pilates and gong baths. The resident middle classes now have space to talk and share and plan and speculate. My wife likes these places. She sends me in for Americano and Turkish eggs. Not gonna lie, I've indulged in their sausage rolls, 4 times the price of Greg's. Don't tell the boys though. But it's chaos in here. There's not enough space between the counter and the bit where you wait if you're getting takeaway. Staff get confused as to who's next and orders take ages or get forgotten. Meanwhile, HGV-sized buggies block the entrances with little dogs tied alongside. Not gonna lie, I've brought my little dogs in here too. Over the noise, I hear the lady shout out my order. Finally, the kettle simmers, grab the food, slip out, put my hoodie back up. Enjoy that relief of no longer having to wait. This is how it is now. There you go. Double standards, contradictions. I'm full of them. No doubt tomorrow morning when I wake up to walk the dogs, my wife likes to come with me on a Saturday, and we'll probably be popping into one of these places for a vaguely pleasant coffee and a snack and a very expensive price tag. All right. Where are we at? Okay. Building runner. There was a guy who ran a building for a time. When he talked loudly, figuratively and literally, about identity, his ID, and those like him. No different from his contemporaries fizzing through the 2010s like a heated cell under a microscope, all charged with other people's ideas, tropes like tasers set to stun. Like many of his ilk, his views seemed shallow and rarely went beyond the lens of a camera phone. He made enough noise that eventually he was given a building to run. The bluster was now put to the test. Budgets got spaffed on vanity projects. Those said to be oppressed were ignored. The emperor wore the best clothes, yet everyone agreed he was poor. He left out the back door under allegations of misconduct. The gatekeepers blushed red. Very little was said. He ran the building. They speculated. We heard the noise. But beyond the paint job, nothing changed. Yeah, there you go. That's probably an amalgamation of a number of different situations that I've seen take place over the last few years. I suppose it was ever thus, an older person would say. All right, good guy, bad guy. This is I wrote this a while ago, but this seems quite relevant, being all the noise in the news here in England in the last week over elections or whatever. Saw a clip online, interviewer versus activist. One subject, two viewpoints, one right, one left. One good, one bad, depending where you park your ass. Both obnoxious, both arrogant, all mouth, no ears, no noise of doubt, points to agree or willingness to concede. Both wrong, both right, right, wrong, wrong, right, the I and ong, and is there anything in between? God help us all. This is the news, and it's bloody entertaining. Clickbait, I'm a sucker for it. Still, sometimes I think YouTube and all of the various online sources where we can get information now, the algorithm suggesting things it thinks I want to look at. There's a little smug part of me that when it suggests something that I don't want to look at, which is quite often, I'm like, ha ha ha. You don't know me that well, do you? But anyway, I'm not quite the target audience, I don't think, for most of this rubbish. But there you go. Okay, something sort of slightly light-hearted to finish with. This is all a little bit cynical. Been a long week, I'm tired. The modern male writer. The modern male writer sighs as he reviews the analytics of his latest piece. Of the 5 likes he received, 3 of the likeys contained images of very attractive women in lingerie with links to a website. One day, he said to himself, one of these attractive women in lingerie will be a real woman who also happens to share my love of literature, starting with my very own. I wonder, or I like to think that out there in a world of overly pious people who write and whatever, that whenever like you put something online, and it seems to be on lots of the platforms, this was for me would happen mainly with like Twitter for a while, and then Instagram, and then Facebook, but also with Substack now, where like you get a like and you see it, and it's like a hot chick in the profile, and you're like, oh yeah, and you quite quickly realize it's some bot or whatever. That should, like those guys, the sort of pious ones, would they admit that little feeling of like, oh, who's this? And then would they then follow that feeling of like, oh, she's not real? Probably yes. Probably all of them. Anyway, there you go. Right, that's it for this week. That's me done, mate. Sorry, it's been a little bit higgledy-piggledy. Don't forget, as mentioned previously, Poetry and Poppadoms, Friday 27th of March. I'll be performing alongside Murray Lachlan Young, Sky Lily, and Paul Lyles. It's all at the Caramel Cabaret sort of restaurant in Wood Green. It's a Friday night. Tickets are a tenner. You can also choose to eat the food there, which is nice. It's like Indian thali, the Indian kitchen. Have a couple of beers, bit of music. It's a nice gig. I really enjoy this one. So come along. I don't get to perform much these days. And I think that is it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Peas and taters. Peace. Paul. Bye-bye.
It's longer time. Yay! Lager Time. Poems, stories and thoughts. By me, Paul Cree. Who else?